I'm on what was the Arsenal Football Club pitch. So behind me over here is Highbury House. Now behind that building is the Emirates Stadium, and as you can see, I've just done a tour of the Emirates Stadium, so check that video out after this video. But obviously right now we're going to go and check out Highbury. Some of it still remains, well, a lot of it still remains apparently, but obviously Arsenal moved away from there and started playing here at the Emirates in 2006. Now the location leading to Highbury is really nice. Lovely townhouses. Kind of reminds me of when we went to Craven Cottage, the home of Fulham. I'm going to head over to Highbury and I'll see you there. Let's go. Right then guys, I'm currently on Highbury Hill. Now this would have been the west stand, the west side of the old Highbury. Now as you can see, I'm already getting flashbacks. We always make reference to Upton Park, the bowling ground, and their lack of link back to the former stadium. Now there's no lack of it here. We know that the listed buildings prevented any demolition taking place. But if we just make our way over here, this is actually known as Highbury Stadium Square. Thankfully it says we're here by the west stand, and I believe if we make our way in here we might be able to see the kind of memorial garden they've got on the go. Should we do that, or should we look around the outside? Do you know what, as it's here, let's go and take a look inside. Now, even as a Manchester United fan, this is absolutely breathtaking. So we mentioned the listed buildings. They are in fact the west stand and the east stand over there in the distance. Just look at the roof. It looks exactly as it would when they were playing football. Now, if you are going to come over this way and take a look at Highbury, I strongly suggest that you do the Arsenal stadium tour, but also the museum prior to coming here. I've just come from the museum, and it's really important because you get to learn about the history of Arsenal, the fact that they were essentially a group of workers from an armoury, gun makers, hence the name the Gunners, who set up a football club. Basically, check out the story of Arsenal, but it basically led to them moving north of the river in 1913 to Highbury, to this place. Now a couple of years later they dropped the name Woolwich because they were Woolwich Arsenal, and they just became the Arsenal Football Club, and they were here until 2006 when they moved to the Emirates Stadium, just across a few roads. It's very close by. We could try and sneak through this door after this guy's gone through, but I'm worried we're going to get stuck. But when we do visit old football stadiums, we always look for what was the centre circle. They kept it intact at the Dow. They put like a central circular bit of paving at Highfield Road, Coventry. But there's no need to look for the centre spot of the former football pitch, because it is indeed in the museum. The actual grass with the chalky centre spot can be seen. It's looking a little bit dead now, the grass is all dead, but I love the fact that they've restored it. So as you can see, it says on the gates, private property, 24-hour security, no dogs allowed in there. You can see in the distance, you can kind of really get a feel as to what it was like playing here. The stands behind me and in front of me over here are obviously brand new. There's nothing, as far as I'm aware, remaining from the old Highbury. But when you just look over there and you look at the west stand, it's just like being pre-2006, being at the football stadium. If you're wondering why I didn't go to my car and I'm still wandering around with Gunnosaurus, I parked in the complete opposite direction from Highbury. I did hear a rumour that the postman with the trolley over there is apparently a Spurs fan, and what he does is he rips up all the residents' mail and just throws them in a bin. He doesn't do that, obviously. I'm sure he's an Arsenal fan, and what a round to have. I worked at Royal Mail for over 7 years. I'd have loved a round like this. Here he is, the Spurs fan. Oh my god. So We're going to make our way back round to the West Stand because obviously we only saw a glimpse. You had the houses in front of it, but the East Stand is probably going to be the money shot. They did say in the museum that you could walk in the lobby area possibly. He's a Chelsea fan. Behind me over here is a fitness first. There's a gym at the Highbury Stadium. I wonder how many of those people, members of that gym, are Arsenal fans. We don't get stuff like this where I'm from. This is just on everyone's doorstep. They're just going about their everyday business like nothing's up. Maybe they're not as sad as me, who gets really, really excited when he sees old football stadiums. Now, I said Craven Cottage was one of the most aesthetically pleasing football stadiums I've ever seen. This really is a work of art. Now, ironically, Archibald Leach, we read about him in the museum. He was responsible for so many famous British football grounds in the early 20th century, the 1900s. You know, behind Goodison, Ibrox, he did the Johnny Haynes stand, the former Stevenage Road stand at Fulham, the Pavilion. A lot of his beautiful, aesthetically pleasing old school stands are the responsibility of Scottish architect Archibald Leach.
So Arsenal are champions for the second time in 3 years, and considering the setbacks they've had, 2 points deducted for fighting in an earlier match with Manchester United and the sending to prison of their inspirational captain Tony Adams, it's a very considerable achievement.
Stuff it, guys, I've taken a risk. Security are probably on my case. I've snuck through the doors. We might be stuck here for the night. I might have to camp on the centre circle of the old Highbury pitch, but I'm willing to take that risk for you guys. So in return, all I ask is for you to like the video, subscribe if you like old football ground tours and new football ground tours, because we do loads on the channel. So as I'm making my way up here, I've got to be quick in case I get chucked at. Here we have it, guys. I'm on what was the Arsenal Football Club pitch. The respect people have for this stadium. I mean, I've read all of Sir Alex Ferguson's books, and he always spoke so highly of entering Highbury, the marble as you go on in. Again, I'm going to try and get in there as well. I might have upset him now I've snuck in here though. Just an absolute classy place, classy stadium. The closest thing that reminds me of that's still going in the Premier League is maybe Villa Park. I don't know if it's a Doug Ellis stand. It looks a little bit similar roof. Now, as I mentioned, the actual centre spot from the old Highbury pitch is in the Arsenal Museum. Now, weirdly, the area in which looks like the centre spot would be has turf missing. So maybe they've left it like that deliberately, because obviously it's now in the museum. Did you know that the factory workers who set up Arsenal Football Club, they originally called it Dial Square. Now, they had their first match in 1886 and they won 6-0. This is absolutely incredible. It's exactly as it was, pretty much. You've got the famous marble floor with the cannon. You've got Herbert Chapman. You've got the reception desk over there, Arsenal Inquirers. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks to the kind man over there. We had a little look. Absolutely fantastic. You know, people like Sir Alex Ferguson, obviously Arsene Wenger, all kinds of people, footballing legends.
So what is that?
We'll go through these doors here. I mean, you've got the class continues because you've got the old Arsenal badge on the gates. Such a small world. You didn't want to be on camera, but someone just come up to me and said, look, I've subscribed to your YouTube channel. And they did. Fair play. He did put in a request as well that we go to Dortmund and check out the Yellow Wall. That was the plan next month, but I had to cancel it for unforeseen circumstances, work related basically. I took all my time off until it refreshes in April. But yeah, we will be doing some overseas stuff. We might be doing some stuff in Turkey actually. Stay tuned on that one. But guys, let's just finish off with this 360. I'm going to go around that way and we're going to end up back by the East Stand where we started. Let's go over there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Arsenal Station is the only station to not be named after a place.
Now you're gone, I realize my love for you was strong.
This is a bit more like former stadiums. When we went to Griffin Park, it was quite sad to see all the old entrances into the ground, the old turnstiles. But if you can imagine this on match day, 25 plus years ago, well not even 20 years ago really, fans coming through that entranceway. Normally you see like murals on the wall, not murals as I like to call them. But this place is just way too classy. Just look at the houses. I'm sure they go for a fair whack. But Arsenal don't need murals. They've retained Highbury's glory through the development. And I am very much impressed. Like I said, just because I didn't like Arsenal growing up doesn't mean that I didn't respect them, and I haven't gained even more respect off the back of both this tour and the Emirates tour. Just look at that house over there. How cool is that house? Arsenal fans, are there any stories about that house over there? What was it? What was it originally? Very nice. Right then guys, I think it seems fitting that we finish the video with the main man himself, Arsene Wenger. Now I hope you enjoyed the Highbury tour. If you haven't already, check out the Emirates Stadium tour. But if you have seen both, now head over to some of my other tours. You've got a list of videos just to the side in front of Arsene Wenger. And I'd just like to say thank you for subscribing. We're doing really well. Thanks for supporting the channel. And any suggestions you've got for old grounds to have a look around or current stadium tours, drop us a comment below. It's been a pleasure. And I'll see you in one of these videos. I'll see you there.